A Palestinian girl reacts to a baby being carried from the rubble of a building after an airstrike. In Khan Younis, Gaza Strip, Saturday, October 21, 2023. Rafah, Gaza Strip. The border crossing between Egypt and Gaza opened Saturday to allow desperately needed aid to flow. For the first time since Israel sealed off the area with airstrikes and began pounding besieged Palestinian territory following a bloody Hamas offensive. Only 20 trucks were allowed in. Aid officials said this amount was not enough to address the unprecedented humanitarian crisis. More than 200 trucks carrying 3,000 tons of aid have been waiting nearby for days. Gaza's 2.3 million Palestinians, half of whom have fled their homes, are rationing food and drinking dirty water. Hospitals say they are running low on medical supplies and fuel for emergency generators due to a region-wide power outage. The Hamas-run Ministry of Health said 5 hospitals had been suspended due to fuel shortages and damage. Expectations are rising for a ground offensive that Israel says will aim to root out Hamas. Israel said Friday it does not plan to take long-term control over the small but densely populated Palestinian territory. According to reports in Israeli media, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened his cabinet late on Saturday to discuss the expected invasion. Israel's military spokesman, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, said country plans to step up airstrikes starting Saturday in preparation for the next phase of war. We will deepen our attacks to minimize dangers to our forces in the next stages of war. We will increase attacks from today onwards, said Hagari, repeating his call to Gaza City residents to head south for their safety. Israel has vowed to crush Hamas but has given few details about what it envisions for Gaza if it succeeds. We need to create distance between border and our communities, he told Channel 13 TV, adding that no decisions had been made on the size or other features of border. The opening of Rafah follows more than a week of high-level diplomacy, including visits to the region by U.S. President Joe Biden and UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. Israel had insisted that nothing would enter Gaza until Hamas released all the captives in its attack on towns in southern Israel on October 7. Late Friday, Hamas released its first prisoners, an American woman and her teenage daughter. It was not immediately clear whether there was a connection between the release and the aid deliveries. Israel says Hamas still holds at least 210 hostages, but their conditions and even whether they are alive are unknown. On Saturday morning, an Associated Press reporter saw 20 trucks heading north from Rafah toward Deir al-Balah, a quiet farming town where many evacuees from the north had taken shelter. Hundreds of foreign passport holders hoping to escape the fighting were not allowed to leave Rafah. American citizen Dina al-Katib said she and her family were desperat.